Back at it for another award-winning edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Tuesday, the 6th day of August, 2019. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Live channel. It's my sincere hope that you ended your Monday with us here on the NCW Live channel. In fact, my advice is to just put your TV on our channel and then break the remote so you can never change the channel again, and we'll all be happy. Good show for today. Lots of things going on, lots in the news department, lots going on in the sports department. The heat is on in a big way. We got a heat advisory. We'll talk about the heat risk that's going to be going on for people. We also, for some people, not in Chelan County, but to the east of us, there's an air quality alert. Again, we're dealing with those fires up in the Lake Roosevelt area. And that's making the air not the best. It's okay here in the Wenatchee Valley. It's the Spokane area that's really getting hammered with some bad air. In fact, I have the Washington Air Monitoring Network right here on my TV screen. And right now in the Spokane area, it's hovering between unhealthy for sensitive groups and unhealthy. It's bad in Spokane. We're all right. We're okay. No real problems at all. We're moderate in the air quality of the air. But again, there is an air quality alert for a lot of our viewing areas, just not here in the Wenatchee Valley. But we do have a heat advisory. That starts at noon today. We're going to see triple digits. Going to be hot. Forecast details are coming up, plus the news, plus the sports, plus the obscure holiday today in history. Everyone's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. Birthdays. And yesterday, 4 very young, very talented thespians paid me a visit. The short Shakespeareans are back in action again for yet another year of quality entertainment. This year's production is the Shakespeare classic, The Comedy of Errors. And 4 cast members visited me yesterday. Wiley Case, Roland Kapler, and the Martinez brothers, Cortez and Cruz Martinez. Love to interview the kids. They'll be talking about short Shakespeareans coming up in the second half of the program. And also we have, and good morning to Charity. She just checked in via our Facebook page. And we'll also have the latest on a structure fire on the south end of town that happened late last night. Those details coming up. All right, if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go. Let's go around the valley with our Valley View cameras. Of course, we always begin with the cross camera, pulled back a little bit at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights, and we're looking over, of course, the beautiful Wenatchee Valley. As good as it gets, just a little hazy. Again, our air quality right now is moderate, which isn't bad. We didn't get above moderate at all yesterday. In case you're curious, the air monitoring site for the Wenatchee Valley is at the intersection of 5th and Western in Wenatchee. But again, it's the Spokane area. The air quality is very bad, going between unhealthy for sensitive groups and just plain unhealthy. They're getting the brunt of the fire up there on the Colville Indian Reservation by Lake Roosevelt. We'll have more on that fire, by the way. It's gotten a little bit bigger, as you might imagine. A beautiful day. Get ready for some very warm. It's already 70. When I got up this morning at 4 o'clock and I went outside, it was 77 degrees. Yesterday's high, by the way, of 96. That tied for the warmest day of the year. We also hit 96 degrees on July 22nd. We're almost certainly going to see triple digits today because we're at 70 degrees right now. Yesterday at this time we were at 64, so we've already begun to climb that ladder. Camera 2, where are we off to, Megan? I don't know. She gets to decide. That looks like Blag Mountain to me. Am I correct? Blag Mountain, high above the lovely hamlet of Peshaston. Those trees kind of look like goalposts, don't they? As we look down over the Leavenworth area. Speaking of goalposts, we'll be doing a lot of high school football again coming up starting next month. Next month is September. The kids go back to school and we start broadcasting high school sports again. Another year of that. Thanks to our sponsors and our viewers for making us able to produce and bring to you live high school sports throughout this sports season. Camera number 3. Hello to the Omi Gardens camera, which is zoomed in. We haven't zoomed that in quite some time. Look at the sunrise. Boy, we had a gorgeous sunrise this morning at 5:45. Because of the haze and the clear skies, it was just a beautiful sunrise. Sunset tonight, by the way, at 8:27. That'll give us 14 hours and 42 minutes of daylight. That's zoomed in from Omi Gardens. And speaking of that, Megan, my producer, and I will be heading up to Omi Gardens a little bit later on this morning to interview Sally Brawley, Jason Browning, and Bonnie Orr. The Friends of Omi Gardens has a big organizational meeting next week. We'll be filming our interview segment at Omi Gardens this morning. I'm looking forward to that. It's one of the most beautiful spots in a beautiful area. Good morning, East Wenatchee. Finally, camera 4. Let's say hello to Bill E. Goat. Hello, Billy Goat. That's zoomed out quite a bit. Columbia River looking good. Methow River looking good. out to Lake Golf Course. I'm ready to go out there and three-putt. Good morning to our friends at the very top of Billy Goat. That camera is way up there. You can see Canada on a clear day. That's how high up that camera is. And this is how the Sky-Fi system works. All these towers have to be up at high elevations, so you can just basically point the dish to whatever tower you can see. That's run by Localtel Sky-Fi division, and you can get high-speed internet to your house. It's pretty cool. You don't need fiber. Give Localtel a call. They'll find out if they can take care of you. So that's our tour around the valley. We begin our show with that every morning. And at 6 minutes after the hour, we have a lot of weather to talk about from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at what we got. 102, and I think we're going to get there today. We didn't. Again, 96 was our high yesterday, but that was still plenty warm for everybody. A lot of places, of course, in our area are going to be dealing with some wildfire smoke and heat. Look at that. That's the heat. If you live in the red area, that is your heat risk today, and that's pretty much everybody. Yeah, it's going to be hot. We are a little worried about that wildfire smoke plaguing the area. I don't think it's going to happen for us a great deal. Again, Spokane is really getting bad. There's your air quality alert. As you can see, it's not quite in Chelan County. Douglas County, Ferry County, Grant, Lincoln, Okanagan, Spokane, they're going to be dealing with some pretty dirty air. Again, most of this air is coming from the fire, the Williams Flats fire. There's also a couple of fires up in British Columbia, but the Williams Flats fire on the Cawville Indian Reservation near Roosevelt Lake is the one that's causing most of the smoke. And it is the Spokane Valley, the Lilac City, is choking this morning with very bad air. Not so much for the Wenatchee Valley. So look at your air quality alert, and if you live in that area shaded in gray, you're going to be dealing with some dirty air. And everybody is going to be dealing with a heat advisory. It starts at noon today, and it goes until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. That's a long time for a heat advisory. Again, high pressure system is large and in charge. Cooler weather is going to arrive for the weekend, as you can see. Could even see a stray thunderstorm late Friday afternoon into Saturday and Sunday. So we're in for some relief if you don't have any air conditioning. But you're going to have to deal with very warm temperatures, downright hot today, tomorrow, and Thursday. No getting around it. It is 70 degrees outside of our studios with 53% relative humidity at 7 minutes after the hour. So yeah, going to be warm. No other way. Well, hot. I think we can safely call it hot. If the National Weather Service says it's hot, I'm going to go with them. It's 7 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have your Tuesday morning headlines. It was a busy day in the newsroom yesterday. What happened? We'll let you know in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
I told Mr. Nielsen about Simon. He's the best doctor because I like the medicines like he gives me.
He asks more questions, and that's why I feel like he's more interested in the health. For me, it means a lot. That means he really cares about him.
I like you, Simon, and you're my best friend.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
9 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We are at 70 degrees outside of our studios. Triple digits today, triple digits Wednesday. Little cooler on Thursday. Considerably cooler weather for the weekend. Can't rule out a thunderstorm over the weekend. A heat advisory begins at noon today, and also many parts of our viewing area, except for the Wenatchee Valley proper, is under an air quality alert. We'll keep a close eye on that. Our opening story this morning is about a fire that destroyed an unoccupied two-story house on the south side of Wenatchee. This happened last night. It's an older wood frame structure, probably unoccupied, as we mentioned before. This is on Marr Street. The house and a detached shed, a total loss. The fire also damaged a nearby garage. The cause is under investigation. To our knowledge, nobody was injured. We'll have more on this story tonight at 5 o'clock with the news with Grant Olson. Also more on that story that we first brought you yesterday morning on that drowning, the Bridgeport man, 26-year-old man who drowned Sunday night at Rufus Woods Lake. Manuel de Jesus Galarza Martinez had been swimming with friends when he went underwater and failed to resurface. His friends dove in, pulled him to shore, but life-saving efforts by Douglas County Sheriff's deputies were unsuccessful. Crews from Bridgeport Fire Department, Douglas County Fire District Number 3, and the Bridgeport Ambulance Service responded along with sheriff's deputies. The latest on the Williams Flats fire that we've been talking about, it's gotten bigger. Crews are still fighting it. Yesterday at this time, it was about 2,300 acres, and now the fire that started on Friday afternoon has grown to about 15,000 acres of mostly grass and timber. It is still at the 20% containment mark, as it has been over the last 24 hours. No structures so far have been damaged. Of course, smoke from that fire is visible in the Wenatchee Valley, but is very much affecting areas to the east of it. It's a very remote area. It's in a designated wildlife game reserve, and the roads in and around that area are either closed or they're so primitive it's also hampering containment efforts. It's hard for the firefighters to get to the actual location of the fire. One home was placed under level 3 evacuation. There are 266 firefighters deployed on that fire, and we'll let you know how that fire is developing again tonight with the news with Grant Olson. A contractor is working this week on installing curve warning signs on Stemilt Loop Road. The project started at the intersection of Joe Miller Road and Bear Slacks Roads, and they're going to work their way along Stemilt Loop Road towards Wenatchee Heights Road. The project is expected to last about 3 weeks. Travelers can expect single-lane closures that will be about a quarter of a mile long. Flaggers, of course, will be directing traffic. The $271,000 $500 project is being paid for with state grant money. Also, beginning today, crews will be working on the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife's public water access at Roses Park. This is, of course, right above Manson. That work is part of an ongoing improvement to the site that includes replacing the old toilet with a brand new one and cutting a trail to provide more shoreline fishing opportunities. The boat ramp will be closed beginning today through Thursday. Efforts to build a pump track in East Wenatchee have taken a step forward. The Eastmont Metropolitan Parks District and the Central Washington Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance have reached an agreement to build the pump track at Eastmont Community Park. The Bike Alliance is currently trying to raise $65,000. They want to build the track between the playground and the basketball courts at the park. Pump tracks allow bike riders to travel through the course without pedaling. Skateboards, rollerblades, and scooters can also use the track. A pump track has been proposed for Don Morris Park in Chelan. Leavenworth has a pump track that's already been there for a couple of years at Enchantment Park. And for this morning's feature story, the annual National Night Out event takes place tonight in East Wenatchee. It's a community building campaign to promote positive partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie. Douglas County Under Sheriff Tyler Kale and Assistant Chief of the East Wenatchee Police Department, Ray Coble, stopped by this very program last week to talk about more about National Night Out. It's a great opportunity to meet people in law enforcement and association with law enforcement in a much more positive environment, because when people need your help, Ray, or your help, Tyler, it's something's wrong, and it's a different kind of situation as opposed to just we're human beings too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, when people call us, it's usually in the worst moment of their life, and they're having to deal with that situation, and then with us, trying to do our job, and it's much easier, in a situation where there's nothing major going on. We can talk to them, and they can understand that we're human beings too, and give them that realization about what we do for them. If people have attended the event before in the past, we're going to use the same type of layout. Of course, we're very proud that we're having it at East Wenatchee now and at the Eastmont Community Park. We feel like it's a great venue. We have a lot of real estate for vendors and for emergency equipment and some extra things that we're hoping will be there.
Well, Ray, don't say that without teasing me. What do you mean extra things?
Well, we have a line on at least one helicopter.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
And we're hoping for 2.
Okay.
And Douglas County is actually going to bring their little miniature ladder truck.
Little fire truck.
Little fire truck. And they're going to give rides to the kids around through the park and stuff too, which hasn't been able to happen at the other venues. But we have, like I said, the real estate, the opportunity, and we're, just some little things like that. We're hoping it'll be a great hit for everyone and a memorable occasion as well.
You mentioned the kids. For the kids, this is a really cool thing for them, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have little things. We're gonna, everyone's bringing stuff to hand out to the kids, especially the law enforcement agencies, and we're wanting to spur that interaction between law enforcement and the children. We want them to know that we're there to help them, and that they don't need to be afraid to come and talk to us. And if they ever have any questions or concerns, we're there for them. That's the main thing.
Kids get to see the inside of a patrol car from the front seat instead of the back seat.
Absolutely.
Turn the lights on, hit the siren.
Yeah.
No, it'll be great, and just the fact you get the families to interact with us, like even on a personal level. And, they get to see the different pieces of equipment. Fire, EMS, law, the helicopter. That's going to be a great addition this year. Like you said, Centennial Park. Wenatchee PD and Chelan County, they did a great job in the past hosting it. They just didn't have the venue to allow for such a thing. So we seized the moment this year. When citizens and call for help, we're the ones that show up, but it's not always in a positive light.
Right.
And it's great for them to get to see us as human beings, as parents. They know that we have our own kids, our own families.
And you're invested in the community as much as they are.
Absolutely. We live here. This is home for us.
Right.
So, that's the thing. And it's just be able to establish that relationship. So when you see that kid again in the mall or at the grocery store or wherever, they walk up, they're not afraid to approach you.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to, there's the police, I got to look the other way. They'll run up to you, shake your hand,
Sure.
and establish that relationship. So like you said, 10, 12 years down the road, when it's time to make a career choice, that might be law enforcement something they look at, because that's a thing they can relate to back in their past. That was a positive experience for them.
Sounds like a really, really cool event, and it's back here in the Wenatchee Valley, I believe, for the 11th year in a row now. And hey, don't forget, before we turn things over and get ready to do sports, it is primary election day. If you haven't voted yet, you have until 8 o'clock tonight to get your ballot into your local auditor's office. If you stick it in the mail, it's postage free. You don't need a stamp, but if you stick it in the mail, you're really taking a chance on your vote not counting, because it has to be postmarked by today. You just don't know. Your best bet is just drop it off at your local auditor's office or in any of the ballot box drop-off locations. They are scattered all over Chelan and Douglas counties, so save yourself. Just make sure your vote is counted. Drop it off at the ballot box. If you're not sure where your drop-off location is, both the Douglas County website and the Chelan County Auditor's website has all the locations. And of course, at 8 o'clock tonight, we will have a link on our website, ncwlife.com, for you to find out who won what, who moves on to the general election, and how the two tax proposals will pan out. Of course, Rivercom and Link. Rivercom is looking to continue their already existing funding, and Link has Proposition 1, which is a 0.2% sales tax increase to increase services for Link Transit. So get your vote in. It's primary election day, and we'll have results, of course, tomorrow right here on this very program. The news with Grant Olson will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10. What happened on this Tuesday? So far, it's going to be a lot. Get ready, newsroom. You're going to be busy. Check it out. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The news with Grant Olson. Eric Grandstrom handles sports. Grant will handle your very warm weather forecast as well. And at the bottom of your screen is all the ways you can get a hold of us. We try to give you all the tools necessary. We're on social media. We got a Facebook page. We got a Twitter handle, even though I've never actually twitted. We have a website, ncwlife.com. We have a phone number. We have all of those cool things. Check it out. Get a hold of us if there's something out there that you think demands our attention. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers, and we do hear from you, our viewers. It's 19 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, and we're talking to the short Shakespeareans. A great interview you don't want to miss. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 10 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
Hi, I'm Lehman Williams, General Manager of Crown Furniture and Mattress. 3 years ago, we decided to make a change to focus on products built in the USA. We made this decision based on better construction, better quality, and better warranties. At Crown Furniture and Mattress, we take great pride in knowing with each and every delivery, we're not just delivering furniture, we're delivering quality and comfort for your family to enjoy for years to come. So stop by and feel the difference at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue, across from Stan's.
We are back 70 degrees outside of our studios. We're going to climb the ladder all the way up to triple digits. That's like triple digits today and tomorrow. And I'm talking about the temperature, not the ratings of this program. Let's do sports. Prior to Friday's game against the Yakima Valley Pippins, the Wenatchee Apple Sox presented one of its players a very special award. Johnny Sage, who was playing his last game as an Apple Sox, by the way, on Friday night, was the recipient of the 2019 Tommy Wanatobi Award. Apple Sox owner Jose Oglesby joined our very own Eric Granstrom prior to the broadcast Saturday to explain the award and why Johnny Sage was such a worthy recipient.
Right, we just wanted to honor Tommy's spirit of the game. The award really isn't so much about the baseball as it is about the community. It's about, the Apple Sox family, and we're all in it together. And Johnny really exemplified that. The baseball talent was a bonus, but really his demeanor and the way that he approached the game, the way he kept his teammates motivated and loose, that was great.
Did you talk with the family about that, and what were their input?
Oh, yes. No. We've been in touch with them from the moment we decided to do this, and they've been very, very supportive. They are amazing class people, and, they would have liked to have been here to present the award themselves, but, Johnny had to leave a little earlier, but they'll be here next week, and I look forward to welcoming them and having a few moments to share with them the family that we have here.
Tommy Watanabe was a pitcher for the Wenatchee Apple Sox a couple of years ago, went home before the season ended to California a little bit early, and he suddenly died. The impact was obviously devastating to the team, the Apple Sox, and the Apple Sox fans. Oglesby created the award in his honor last year. The very first recipient last year was Wenatchee native Jacob Prater. Congratulations to Johnny Sage. Johnny Apple Sox is his name. All right, the Apple Sox back on the field tonight. The Ridgefield Raptors are in town for a 3-game series. This is the final home series of the year, once they get to the playoffs, and we hope they're going to get to the playoffs. More on that in just a minute. Ridgefield, the newest team in the West Coast League. They're about 10 miles up I-5 from Vancouver. The Raptors are 10-11 in the second half of the season, 23-25 overall. Of course, Wenatchee is battling for first place in the North Division second half race. They're tied with Victoria at 15-6. The Apple Sox are 27-21 overall. Trent Sellers is going to start for Wenatchee in tonight's first game of the 3-game series. He's 3-0 with a 7.29 ERA. We don't know who Ridgefield is pitching. 6:35 first pitch. There was some action in the West Coast League last night. To the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. Monday, not a day for defense or pitching. There was only 3 games on the schedule, but they produced a total of 70 runs, 63 hits, and 15 errors. Ridgefield comes to Wenatchee after shellacking Walla Walla last night, 17-3. Andy Atwood and Michael Dixon each had home runs in Corvallis' victory over Port Angeles. The final there was 11-3. Jack Johnson was 2 for 4 with a home run. He led Ben past Kelowna 14-12. So Wenatchee and Victoria both idle last night. The standings have not changed in the North Division. There you see it. The Apple Sox and the Harbor Cats tied for first, 15-6. Port Angeles 3.5 back at 12-10. Ridgefield is currently third in the second half standings in the South Division. Corvallis is running away with the second half. They're 15-6. Portland second at 11-10. Ridgefield and Cowlitz are both 10-11. 5 games back at first. So with the first half winners in the West Coast League's North and South Divisions, that's Victoria and Corvallis. They also lead the second half standings, so it comes down to overall records. And that's when Wenatchee's in pretty good shape. At 27-21, they have a 3.5 game lead over Bellingham. They're 5 in front of Port Angeles. Again, the magic number for the Apple Sox is 3. In the South, it's a 2-horse race behind Corvallis with Walla Walla at 27-21. Ridgefield 4 games back at 23-25, having lost 2 of 3 from the Sweets in their just completed season. Mariners are at home tonight. San Diego is in town at T-Mobile Park. It's a battle of last place teams as the Padres dead last in the National League West at 51-60. The Mariners are last in the American League West, 47-67. San Diego is going to go with Dinelson Lamet, who is 0 for 2 with a 5.09 ERA. He's also coming off Tommy John surgery. I wonder if Tommy was informed about that. We don't know who's going to start for Seattle. First pitch is at 7:05. To the Les Schwab scoreboard, American League West yesterday. Nick Senzel's 2-run base hit highlighted a 5-run first inning in Cincinnati. The Reds beat the Angels 7-4. Nomar Mazara's RBI sacrifice fly in the 4th, the only run of the day. Texas beats Cleveland 1-0. Mike Minor fanned 7 over 7 innings. He gets his 10th win of the year. Ian Happ and Javier Baez homered in a 4-run seventh. Chicago holds on to beat Oakland 6-5. The two teams combined for 7 home runs at Wrigley Field. Finally, the Seahawks, they had a mock game over the weekend, getting ready to host Denver on Thursday at CenturyLink Field. Coach Pete Carroll says this is an important week, especially for the new guys.
There's a lot of excitement about this because we wait so long, and the anticipation of all throughout the offseason. We talk about the game so often, and it finally gets here. So much of the time we're talking about holding back, and the tempo and the hitting and all of that. So we use the games to get our blocking and tackling together. And so the first time we'll go full speed will be when we kick it off. And that's as far as getting people on the ground. So it's a big deal to us. It's a really, really big deal to the guys that have their first opportunity. The guys that are here for the first time. And we dedicate the game to those guys and make sure that they get a lot of play time and an opportunity to know that they're in a football game for the first time.
Seahawks and Broncos, first preseason game of the year, Thursday, CenturyLink Field. They'll kick it off at 7 o'clock. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday, 26 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday of the day today. Today is National Root Beer Float Day. And yes, there are going to be offers all over the area for root beer floats. Certain restaurants that are synonymous with root beer floats will be having giveaways today. It's a creamy treat loved by generations. Goes back over 100 years. Cripple Creek, Colorado. It was known as the Black Cow. The guy was Frank Weiser. He ran a mining camp in Colorado one night. He stared out the window, started thinking about just stuff. He came upon an idea. He thought, what if I put a scoop of vanilla ice cream into a glass of root beer? What would that taste like? He liked it. He tried it out the next day to a bunch of kids. They really liked it. And before you know it, the Black Cow was born. We now know it as the root beer float. And anybody who doesn't love a root beer float, it's National Root Beer Float Day. And again, there are, look around, go on the internet and see if you can find a deal on a root beer float. It's National Root Beer Float Day, a perfect summertime treat, especially in the heat that we're going to be dealing with over the next 3 or 4 days. All right, let's do Today in History. It's the 6th day of August. Has anybody seen Judge Crater? Judge Crater, please call your office. Judge Crater, please call your office. I do that now and again when I do PA work. People don't get it because I guess maybe it happened 89 years ago. He was a justice on the New York State Supreme Court. His name was Joseph Forrest Crater. He stepped into a taxi on West 45th Street in Midtown Manhattan in New York City, disappeared, was never heard from again. One of the most mysterious missing persons cases in the entire 20th century. Huge publicity, but the case was never solved. 40 years later, they simply closed the case and they declared him legally dead. By the way, the only clue that they ever found out about what happened to Justice Crater, his safety deposit box had $5,000 in it. Then he disappeared and it had nothing in it. So he may have just disappeared himself. Again, Judge Crater, please call your office. He disappeared 89 years ago today. August 6, 1945, in a much more sobering note, 74 years ago today, Hiroshima, Japan, devastated. Hiroshima, Japan, devastated with the atomic bomb. The little boy dropped by the B-29, the Enola Gay. 70,000 people were killed instantly. How many people died in the subsequent years from burns and radiation poisoning? We don't really know. They think about another 30,000 or so. And the amazing thing is, even after this amazing display of atomic power that probably killed close to 100,000 people, Japan still did not surrender. It took a second atomic bombing a couple of days later in Nagasaki before World War II finally came to an end. Hiroshima, Japan, which has recovered rather remarkably from the dropping of the atom bomb, which happened on this date 74 years ago today. Archival footage. Let's do some birthdays at the bottom of the hour. There's just one, but boy, as far as television legends go, do they get any bigger than Lucille Ball, who was born in this state in 1911, passed away in 1989 at the age of 77. Kennedy Center Honor, Television Hall of Fame. Of course, I Love Lucy, followed by the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, which is followed by the Lucy Show, which is followed by Here's Lucy, followed by Life with Lucy, and finally Just Plain Lucy. And also her production company that she owned with Desi Arnaz, Desilu Productions. They produced Star Trek, Mission Impossible, among others. And basically, I Love Lucy was the very first American television sitcom. They pioneered any number of things that are still common television practices today, filming before a live studio audience with a number of different cameras. I Love Lucy was the first to do that, and they were smart enough to film it so they could do reruns over and over and over again. Television legend Lucille Ball, born in the state in 1911. Gonna take a break. When we come back, everybody is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. Then my conversation with Whitey Case, Roland Kapler, Cortez Martinez, and Cruz Martinez. All four of these very talented young men are members of the Short Shakespeareans, and their production of The Comedy of Errors opens tomorrow night at Riverside Playhouse. You don't want to miss that conversation. It's on the way. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
We financed our home with the help of Tracy Dry through Guild Mortgage, and we were quite satisfied with everything she did.
Tracy takes the time to get to know you. She finds what your wants are, your needs, and what works for you and your family and your financial situation.
Everything was on time, and she took the responsibility off of our shoulders. So we would recommend her anytime to anybody.
She takes care of us.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. No wonder women are angry, and no wonder they're speaking out. For far too long, we've ignored the fact that women have been abused and harassed at the hands of some men. And yes, maybe it's not you, but it's somebody. Official stats used to be that 1 in 4 women would be sexually assaulted to some degree by the time she graduated high school. But in reality, this statistic is far too conservative. But even accepting that it's 25% of women who suffer this abuse, isn't that conservative figure a justifiable explanation for why women are speaking out and demanding change? Of course it is. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hey friends, this is the Discovery Center at Rocky Reach Dam, where things look exactly like they did in the 1960s. Say cheese! Turns out the way people learn has changed a lot since then.
Gee, Pop, that lecture was swell.
It's about time to create some new and exciting ways to interact with the story of the PUD and our valley. We'll be closed next year while we make some magic happen. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on the journey.
I have a hereditary bone disease from the female side of my family. My bone loss was so significant that you could almost see the roots. I became embarrassed and I started covering my mouth. Eating became very difficult as far as I stopped eating apples, corn on the cob, things that you just eat as it is without utensils. Dr. Divis was my dentist prior to having implants. We talked about traditional dentures or implants, and implants was the only way really that I could go. John Divis and all of his office staff, they checked on me throughout all the processes. I would never go anyplace else. Today, I can eat corn on the cob, I can have apples. Thanks to Dr. John Divis and his staff, I have my smile back. I feel more confident. I am me again.
This is John Divis. Let our team help you solve your dental needs.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. It is the Comedy of Errors, which is normally what we call this show. But no, I'm talking about Bill Shakespeare and one of the very first plays he ever wrote, as a matter of fact. And the Short Shakespeareans are going to be presenting their production of the Comedy of Errors coming up this week and into the weekend at the Riverside Playhouse. We'll get you all the details in just a couple of minutes. And we have 4 cast members joining me. The first time around, to my far left is Wiley Case, and to my immediate left is Rowan Kapler. Is that right, Rowan? Is that a good name? Hey,
yes.
All right. Listen to the applause. They love you here in the studio audience. Welcome to the program. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, tell me a little about yourself. Wiley, tell me about yourself. How old are you? What school you go to? That good stuff.
I am 14, and I go to Canyon Park Middle School.
Okay.
Which is over in Bothell.
Okay.
So.
How did you get recruited to do this then?
The director, Kelly Atwood, is my aunt, and she got me into it.
Okay, so Kelly's directing.
Mm-hmm.
Does Paul have anything to do with this?
No.
Good, because that means you're going to have a great production. I'm kidding. I love the Atwoods. A little bit about yourself, Rowan.
I am 13, and I'm going to go to Eastmont Junior High.
Okay.
And I was first recruited into this because my parents are both actors for the Full Circle Theater Company.
Okay.
And this is my second year doing Short Shakes.
Okay. So, well, welcome to the program. Do you like your kid? For those of you who don't know, the Comedy of Errors is about 2 sets of twins, and there's miscommunication. They get confused for each other. There's all kind of. It's a comedy. It's a very funny show. Do you like your characters? Do you like the character that you got cast as?
Yeah, it's different than I thought, but I've learned to get used to it.
Okay.
So.
And your character is?
Antipholus of Ephesus.
Okay. And you are?
Antipholus of Syracuse.
And you don't notice there's a lot of Greek going on here. That's what's going on. So a brief plot synopsis. What without giving away any of the cool plot points, what is the Comedy of Errors essentially about? I'll let both of you guys handle that.
Yeah, sorry.
So, we were twins who were separated very early in our childhood, and we also have servants who are also twins, and I am searching for him. And so when I come to this town that he lives in, everyone thinks that I'm him. So there's just a whole bunch of chaos that just happens because we just keep getting confused.
Mm-hmm. Also, a little side plot that's going on. Our father is being sentenced to death because at this time there's war between Syracuse and Ephesus, and so he trespassed, and so he's gonna be executed. And so he tells his story about us being separated, and the Duke's just like, well, okay, I'm gonna give you 1 day for someone to pay your bail, or else you're dead. So.
Mm-hmm. And it is a comedy, though. Trust me on this. It's a comedy. Is there singing and dancing too? I mean, is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the musical numbers hard to learn, or?
Some of the dance.
Most of the time it's pretty easy, but there are some parts where it's a little more difficult.
Are you better acting, dancing, or singing? Of those 3 disciplines, what are you best at?
I I would say acting.
Yeah. Same question.
Singing.
Singing?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Acting, singing.
That's I can do all three brilliantly, I might add. Do you? Is it a fun play to do? There's a lot going on here. Is it? You guys having fun during rehearsals? You enjoying the story and getting to know your character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. What's Kelly's directorial style like?
Well, she is really good at letting us know what we need to do. She has a lot of emotion and expression that really helps us to portray that emotion and expression as well, and it really helps the play to feel a lot more alive.
Do you have to speak in the language of the times? Because this goes back to what's the time period that this takes place in?
I would say like the 1400s. I don't really know Shakespearean that
well.
well.
But it goes back a ways.
Yeah.
So you are of that time period, and you use the King's English that would have been used in the 13th century or the 14th century.
Yeah.
Is that difficult to learn?
Yeah, sometimes because
some of the words
you don't really know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but that's what Kelly helps us to do. She really helps us to understand how we're supposed to say all this stuff and how we're supposed to act, and it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, or if we just have any free time, we can just go online and just search up an English translation.
Oh, does it work for you? No. You guys have been rehearsing. Again, opening night is Wednesday at the Riverside Playhouse, by the way. Are you ready to go? If you had to do the show like in half an hour, could you do it? Or is there still some untied strings out there?
I would say that there's like a few things left that we need to do. But
I think I could do it, but there'd be some parts where it wouldn't be quite as good as we could.
But you still have a couple more days.
Yeah.
How much time are you on stage? Like the whole time, or do you get a little breaks here and there?
Well,
small breaks.
Mostly small breaks. We're not really on the scene together because that's why everybody gets confused.
Right.
So, but most of the time, we're mostly on stage.
Okay. Is there any significant plot twist that you can tell us about, or are people just going to have to see it?
That might be a pretty big spoiler.
Yeah,
let's not go there.
Listen, there's something big, but we're not gonna say.
We're going to talk to Cortez and Cruz here in just a little bit. What do those guys like to work with?
Really
The
fun.
other set of twins.
Oh yeah, they're hilarious. They're just really funny.
Okay. So you guys obviously have some familiar with Shakespeare. You had to do some homework, and you were, of course, recruited by Kelly, and you've been in Short Shakespeareans for a couple of years. And yet you play twins. You don't really look twinish.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see a little bit of that, but not really. So is that you're cool with that?
Yeah.
Because Cortez and Cruz look a lot like each other. We'll get to that in just a little bit. I want you to have fun, first of all. That's the most important thing. Why did you get involved in Short Shakespeareans to begin with? This is your second year, right?
Yes.
How did you get dragged in kicking and screaming because the folks want to get you out of the house for the summer, or?
No, mostly because I wanted to do it.
Okay.
Because I had done other productions in the past, but it had been years. So I just wanted to find something to do during the summer.
Do you like being on stage? I mean, it takes guts. It takes chutzpah to be up there and having people look at you while you sing and dance and act. It takes guts.
Yeah.
You like doing that?
Sometimes it can be a little scary, but once you actually get out there on the stage and people are like laughing at the jokes and they're enjoying it, it makes it a lot more easier and like a lot more fun to be out there performing.
Yeah, and there is a lot of jokes in this, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty funny.
Yes.
Yeah, even though there's an execution subplot in there as well. Isn't there some weird romantic subplots as well?
But
we're not getting into that.
Yeah, no.
Because it's Short Shakespeareans. We don't want the kids to, have their brains rotted at all. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, a matinee and an evening show at the Riverside Playhouse. You can get the tickets by going to the Numerica Performing Arts Center website, numericapac.org. Is that right? Yeah. Thank you. I got it right. We got to help her back here. I'm going to talk to Cortez and Cruz here in just a second. What should I ask them? What's the first question I should ask them?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'll ask them if they'd like you to.
Is it fun to be twins with your own twin?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
I will ask that very question when we return. Wiley and Rowan are going to step off set. We got Cortez and Cruz, the other set of twins from the Comedy of Errors. Notice how I called him Bill Shakespeare? Kind of tight with him. I think Bacon wrote his plays anyway. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Succession is leading the way for a new generation of Chelan wineries. Named Platinum Winemaker of the Year in 2017 and the one to watch in 2018 by Wine Press, Succession is setting the pace. Award-winning wines are just a part of the overall experience. Add live music on Sundays and fantastic views, and you have it all. Succession Wines, located on the north shore of Lake Chelan between Chelan and Manson.
Presenting a whole new line of more powerful, more fuel-efficient tractors from Coyote. It may not be the kind your grandfather bought 60 years ago, but it's probably the kind he'd buy today. Test drive one at your local Coyote dealer.
Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
And we're back on this edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Of course, the topic is short Shakespeareans and their production of The Comedy of Errors, which again is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 2 shows Saturday at the Riverside Playhouse in downtown Wenatchee. And playing the other set of twins, yes, there's 2 sets of twins in this particular production. On my far left is Cruz Martinez, and to my immediate left is Cortez Martinez. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Hey, I got it right. First of all, tell me about the clothes.
Oh, they're amazing. These shoulder pads, I love them. Yeah, at the start, right before we came here, I was like, yeah, we look like Michael Jackson over here.
You do?
Let's go.
Of course, if you wore that to school, you would probably be teased just a little bit, wouldn't you?
Yeah, shoved in a locker.
Just a little bit. Where do you go to school?
Well, we went to school at Washington Elementary, but now
Okay.
we're gonna go to Foothills.
Cool. I went to Washington Elementary. I did. It was 8 of the best years of my life I spent at Washington Elementary. And now you're going to where?
We're going to Foothills.
Foothills Middle School. Okay, cool. You know, I asked Wiley what I should ask you guys, which is, what's it like being twins and playing twins?
It's actually very fun. I thought it would be really awkward, like, oh, we're already twins and we would already know what's gonna happen. But it's actually pretty fun once you start knowing like what happens and doing the stuff.
This morning, actually, me and my brother never really noticed that we look so alike. But this morning we're like, my goodness, don't we just look so alike?
So when you were newborns, did they paint one kid's toenail a different color so they knew who was who? How do they do that?
Oh no, there was like 16 doctors trying to remember which is which. So who knows? He could be Cortez and I can be Cruz for all we know.
That's true. So did you guys have an inside track at getting these roles because you are twins?
Yeah, we did this play before, and we were actually the
bodyguards.
And we were also another set of twins on earlier scene.
So you guys talk about the roles that you play in the Comedy of Errors. You are the other set of twins, and you also get confused for each other. Talk about the role you play and the role you play. Go ahead.
Well, I play Dromio of Syracuse. So basically, I'm the servant of Antipholus of Syracuse. And we kind of get mixed up with the whole show, like you said, and I'm just like scrattling around, just trying to figure out who's who.
And you, same you?
I am a rich servant who works for my mistress and one of the other sets of twins.
Okay.
And it's really fun because we get to kind of play around with them in the play. And also, it's fun being twins because we get to play around with the director a little bit.
Okay. Oh, have you been teasing Kelly? Have you been trading roles? Saying I'm Cortez and he's Cruz and he's Cruz and I'm Cruz. Have you guys just a little bit?
A little bit.
Oh, I want to be a fly on the wall for that. She's pretty smart though. She's probably caught on to that as well. Do you like being twins? Because being twins, and I'm not talking acting in the play, but I'm talking about just everyday life.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty rare thing.
Well, yeah, it's fun to be, but sometimes I really don't like it because it's like it's like I kind of wish I could just be in like other people's shoes and kind of see what they're doing, like with it, like instead of just being alike like all the time.
That's understandable. Is it the same deal for you? I mean, it's...
Well, the only thing I don't like being a twin about is that we have to share almost every single thing we get, and yeah.
So what makes you two stand out from each other? I mean, do you like the same kinds of music and food and everything, or do you have different tastes and different kinds of things?
Sometimes little bits of different tastes, but mostly the same thing we like.
How does your mom feel about all this and your folks about you guys getting into this thing? Is this kind of cool?
It's my mom thinks it's pretty cool, and my dad thinks it was really cool, and we got the part.
Yeah, how did you get the part? I didn't ask you that. Besides the fact that you look a lot, how did you get the casting? How did that all happen?
Well, me and my brother tried out for this role, and we sang together actually in our tryouts, and we.
And you got it. And you got it. Do you like the roles that you play?
Yeah. Oh yes, I love it. It's funny and it's fun.
Does the plot can get kind of convoluted at times? Can you get even confused about what's going on occasion?
Occasionally, but mostly we kind of get gets what's happening.
Yeah. Do you like working with Wiley and Rowan?
They're amazing.
They're
very smart. They're kind of like they're good singers. They're good actors. They're just amazing.
In fact, I should ask you the same question I asked Wiley and Rowan. What singing, acting, dancing, of those three disciplines? What do you best
definitely.
At? What about you?
I'd like to do singing and dancing, but I'm not such a good dancer, so I'll just do singing.
So at Washington Elementary School, did you guys change roles when the substitute teacher came in?
Once.
And?
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool and fun.
Yeah. Did the kids know? The kids knew?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. All of them knew. We were like, hey, switch. We're like, gonna get us caught in the...
And you could do this again at Foothills, I'm sure, right?
Maybe. I don't know. It's funny because my mom and dad once said, you guys should someday switch your classes just to try it.
And, oh yeah, you should, because you'll be going to different classes at different times. Oh yeah, you gotta do that.
If we're in the same class but at different times, amazing.
Okay, yeah. Attention Foothills teachers, get ready. These two are coming. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be either an electrician or sing for everyone so they can...
Be the singing electrician. You know, that's what I would do, because that's carving your own little niche. What do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be an engineer, like a computer designer, or do something with electrical in it, like electrical stuff in it.
Like, you guys start your own business. Do you have any siblings, or is it just you two?
Actually, we have two of them. My little sister, Alora, and my older sister, Soraya.
Do you get along?
Kind of.
You're siblings. You're supposed to support each other and help each other along life's highway. You're not doing that, is what I'm getting out of that. I'll ask you one last question. I asked the other two. Are you guys ready to go? Are you ready on Wednesday night? You ready to do it?
Yeah, I think we just need like the extra 2 days. I could do this all if today, but we may need to fix some things here and there. So, yeah.
What's better, opening night or closing night?
Closing night, definitely. Because we practice more and more each play. We get more used to everything, and it's just amazing. Well, but I would recommend the day before closing night. I would recommend not the first 2 days, but the day after that.
Okay.
It's an amazing.
So the Friday night show is what you would go to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because on the last show, we're kind of like get all of our energy out, but then we're also like, you know what? We could also do like chill out because.
Do you like being on stage? We talked about this before. It takes guts for somebody your age to go on stage.
I have a lot of fun, but my twin, on the other hand, he's a little bit shy, and I'm outgoing. But he really loves this play because he doesn't feel any stress from everyone around us. So.
It is directed by Kelly Atwood, which means it's going to be a top flight connection because Paul has nothing to do with it. I'm kidding. I love Paul too. But Kelly's a sweetheart. She's been on the show before. It is The Comedy of Errors. It is a classic play from William Shakespeare. It's a musical. There's singing, there's dancing, lots of plot twists, lots of things going on. You got to stay with it. You got to pay attention to this, don't you? You can get
Oh, yeah.
lost in some of this stuff.
Yeah. You make one mistake,
Yeah.
you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, well, I make about 15 mistakes every day on this program, so I should be in it, indeed. Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night at the Riverside Playhouse, 2 shows, a matinee and a Saturday evening show. Tickets at numericapac.org. Have a great time. Have a great rest of your summer. Say hi to all my friends at Foothills Middle School. I went to Foothills as well. I spent 6 of the best years of my life there after I spent 9 years at Washington Elementary School. I was 27 when I graduated from high school. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCAA Live channel. We'll be right back.
SkillSource specializes in assessing and guiding youth, adults, and laid-off workers who want to improve their skills. Here you can attend in-depth workshops to assess skills and interests, make career plans, and learn computer basics.
Learning centers provide eligible youth and adults individualized computer-assisted basic education. Vocational training is arranged with approved providers like community colleges or on the job with businesses.
Don't wait any longer. Let's get working on the future you've been dreaming about.
Looking for a hands-on, high-demand job? Now is the perfect time to get trained for a career in manufacturing. Washington currently has a shortage of skilled tradespeople, and retirements are making room for more. The machining program at Wenatchee Valley College is designed to give students the foundation to excel in this precision industry. Don't wait, there are only 15 spots left. A 2-year degree and a 1-year certificate are available. Learn more at wvc.edu/machining.
Great interview with the short Shakespeareans. Looking forward to that. Thanks again to Wiley, Rowan, and the Martinez twins, Cortez and Cruz, for dropping by and visiting me yesterday. This is a must-see show. You got to check it out. Looking forward to it. All right, let's wrap up the program where we began with your very warm. To heck with it. It's hot. It's a hot weather forecast. Yesterday's high was 96 degrees, which tied for the warmest day of the year so far. We've hit 96 degrees twice, July 22nd. And then on Monday, we're going to be in the triple digits today, and probably Wednesday, and even possibly Thursday. And that leads to a lot of different kind of issues. First of all, we have a heat advisory for almost all of eastern Washington. It's in effect, it starts at noon today and goes until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And take a look at that map. If it's that dark, deep red, that's the hottest of the hot spots. It's going to be just plain hot everywhere. If you're sensitive to heat at all, you want to go out in the early morning hours or shortly after sunset. Either way, in the middle of the afternoon, it's going to be a scorcher. We're also going to be dealing with some patchy smoke. In fact, there's an air quality alert for a great deal of our viewing area, except, ironically enough, Chelan County. We're not going to get the brunt of the bad air. I'm glad to say that. Right now, the air quality in the Wenatchee Valley is moderate. We're okay. No real big deal there. Spokane's taking the brunt of the smoke from the fire up near the Colville Indian Reservation. The air quality in the Spokane area in the Lilac City is hovering between unhealthy for sensitive groups and just plain unhealthy. So Spokane has got some very dirty air, and there is your air quality alert. So if you're in that dark gray area, you're going to be breathing in some gunky gunk today, if that's even a word. So 102, looks like we're going to get there. We're at 72 right now in the Wenatchee Valley. We were 10 degrees cooler at this time yesterday. So if we hit 96 yesterday, I think triple digits is very much in the realm of possibility today and again tomorrow. Then you'll notice we're going to have a cool down, especially by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. A late afternoon thunderstorm is not out of the realm of possibility on Friday and on Saturday. So if you need relief from the heat, you're going to have to wait for the weekend, fire up the AC, and keep cool. Provided the show isn't canceled, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.